Some stories hide in plain sight, moments forgotten, yet quietly shaping everything. What if everything you thought you knew was just the surface?
By the way, this channel posts one insight like this every day, so if this breakdown helps you, consider subscribing. Every time you scroll through your phone, it's a little reminder that social media isn't just a place to connect. It's reshaping how we behave, think, and even feel.
Social media has woven itself into the fabric of daily life so deeply that it's hard to imagine a world without it. But beyond the likes, shares, and endless feeds, there's a profound shift happening in how humans interact with one another and perceive themselves. What started as a simple way to stay in touch with friends and family has evolved into a powerful force that influences everything from our attention spans to our self-esteem. Take, for example, the rise of the influencer culture. Just 15 years ago, the idea that everyday people could shape global trends, fashion, or political opinions seemed far-fetched. Now, millions turn to a single Instagram post or TikTok video to decide what to buy, how to style themselves, or even how to think about complex issues. This power didn't emerge overnight. It's the result of an ecosystem designed to capture attention and reward visibility. But what does this mean on a deeper level? Neuroscientists tell us that our brains are hardwired to seek social validation. In prehistoric times, being accepted by the tribe was a matter of survival. Today, that ancient wiring meets the modern algorithms of social media platforms, which constantly serve us content tailored to trigger those same primal urges. The result? A digital dopamine loop, where each notification acts like a tiny hit of reward, pushing us to check our devices again and again. This isn't just about occasional distraction, it's changing the way we experience our own realities. Studies have linked heavy social media use to increased feelings of anxiety, loneliness, and even depression. For teenagers whose identities are still forming, scrolling through idealized versions of other people's lives can distort self-image in profound ways. The carefully curated highlight reels on these platforms rarely show the struggles, failures, or messy moments, yet they set an invisible standard that can feel impossible to meet. And then there's the phenomenon of echo chambers, where algorithms feed us content that aligns with our existing beliefs. Instead of broadening horizons, social media often narrows them, creating digital bubbles that reinforce biases and deepen divides. This has critical implications for society as a whole, influencing everything from elections to social movements. But it's not all doom and gloom. Awareness of these dynamics has sparked important conversations about digital well-being. Some people are embracing detoxes or setting boundaries with their screen time. Platforms themselves are experimenting with features designed to reduce harm, like hiding likes or promoting breaks. And researchers are exploring ways to design technology that aligns better with human values, rather than exploiting vulnerabilities. Understanding these shifts is the first step toward regaining agency in a world where the digital and the personal are increasingly intertwined. As we continue to navigate this complex landscape, the question remains: how can we harness the benefits of social media without losing ourselves in the process? Maybe the answer lies less in rejecting these tools outright and more in cultivating a mindful relationship with them, recognizing when we're scrolling out of habit versus intention, when our online interactions uplift us instead of erode our sense of self. It calls for a new kind of literacy, one that teaches us not just how to use social media, but how to understand its effects on our minds and communities. In that space of awareness, there's room for connection without compulsion, for sharing without comparison, for empathy without echo chambers. The digital world isn't inherently good or bad. It's a mirror reflecting us back, shaped by how we choose to engage with it. And perhaps, through this reflection, we have an opportunity not just to change our screens, but to change ourselves. So as you set your phone down tonight, consider this. Beyond the pixels and profiles, there's a human story unfolding, one of adaptation, resilience, and the timeless search for meaning and connection. It's quietly happening all around us, inviting each of us to pause, reflect, and maybe, just maybe, find a little more balance amid the noise. In this evolving story, the threads between technology and humanity are tightly woven and not easily unraveled. Our challenge isn't to reject the digital realm, but to become more conscious travelers within it, to remind ourselves that behind every screen is a person, a heartbeat, a life as complex and fragile as our own. There's a certain beauty in that realization, that even in the most curated moments, the most filtered images, the essence of human connection still pulses through. It's imperfect, messy, sometimes painful, but it's real. And it's worth tending to. As we navigate these silent shifts, perhaps what matters most is our capacity for kindness, to others and to ourselves, and the willingness to step back, breathe, and simply be. Because in those quiet spaces, away from the glow of notifications, we often find the clarity and calm that remind us who we truly are. And maybe that's the greatest insight of all, the reminder that beyond the endless scroll, beyond the algorithms and the screens, there remains a stillness waiting for us to come home to. It's a stillness that doesn't demand likes or comments. It doesn't ask for validation or approval. Instead, it invites us to be present, to listen deeply to our own thoughts and feelings, to recognize the rhythms of our lives apart from the digital hum. In that quiet, we rediscover a fundamental truth. Connection begins not with technology, but with authenticity. This doesn't mean turning away from the digital world we've created. Rather, it's about embracing it thoughtfully, holding space for the human heart in every interaction. It's choosing moments of genuine conversation over a quick scroll. It's noticing the impact of what we consume and share. It's acknowledging that behind every screen is a story, sometimes joyful, sometimes difficult, just like ours. As we move forward, the question lingers softly. How might we craft a relationship with technology that honors our well-being and our humanity? The answer may not be found in grand gestures, but in small daily choices. Putting down the phone to meet a friend's eyes, taking a breath before reacting to a post, or simply allowing ourselves to be still amid the noise. Because in that stillness, there's space to remember who we are beyond the digital reflections, people yearning for meaning, connection, and a sense of belonging. And sometimes, that gentle remembering is enough to guide us toward a kinder, more mindful way of being in a world that's always changing. So as the screen fades to black and the quiet unfolds, may we carry with us a simple invitation to pause, to reflect, and to nurture the delicate balance between technology and the human spirit. After all, it's in that balance that we find the truest connection of all. And perhaps in embracing that balance, we come to see technology not as an adversary, but as a tool, one shaped by our intentions and values, rather than the other way around. It's a subtle shift in perspective, but one that holds the promise of transforming our everyday experiences. Instead of feeling swept up in an endless current of content, we begin to steer our own course, choosing what to welcome and what to release. This journey isn't about perfection or rigid rules. It's about gentle awareness, a compassionate noticing of how we relate to our digital lives and the ways they ripple into our sense of self. It invites patience for ourselves and for the world around us, recognizing that change unfolds in quiet moments rather than sudden leaps. In these moments, when the buzz of notifications fades and the lines between online and offline soften, there's an opportunity to reconnect not just with others, but with the part of ourselves that longs for simplicity, for presence, and for genuine connection. We might find, surprisingly, that those small pockets of stillness can be as enriching as any viral post or trending topic. So, as we continue to live in this ever-evolving digital landscape, maybe the most profound act we can choose is simply to be mindful, to carry with us a spirit of kindness and curiosity, both toward technology and toward the human experience it reflects. Because in the end, it is our humanity, in all its beautiful complexity, that breathes life into the screens we hold. And sometimes the most meaningful connection we can make is the quiet one we nurture within ourselves. In the gentle unfolding of each day, there's a space waiting for that quiet connection, one untouched by pixels or profiles. It's in the breath before we reach for our phones, the pause before we respond, the moment we choose presence over distraction. These are the spaces where technology fades into the background, allowing our true selves to come forward. As the digital world continues to grow and evolve, it will undoubtedly bring new challenges, surprises, and opportunities. But amid all that change, the enduring thread remains: our need to connect, to be seen, and to feel understood. No algorithm can replace the vulnerability of a shared story, the warmth of a genuine smile, or the comfort of silence between friends. So perhaps this is the invitation we need most, to meet technology not as masters or victims, but as co-creators of a future where screens enhance rather than diminish the human spirit, where every tap and swipe serves not just to capture attention, but to deepen empathy, spark creativity, and remind us of our shared humanity. In that possibility lies a quiet hope that even in a world overflowing with information, we can find stillness. Even amid endless noise, we can hear our own hearts. And even through glass and light, we can reach out and touch the lives of others with honesty and care. And in that reaching, in that gentle turning inward and outward at once, we uncover a truth both ancient and new, that the most profound connection is not the one measured in likes or followers, but the one that happens when we simply show up, fully present, fully human. And with that, the story continues, softly, quietly, with the steady rhythm of a heartbeat, reminding us that beyond all the screens, we are never truly alone.